Well, ladies and gentlemen, it ain't even May the 4th yet, and Hot Toys are already announcing some banger Star Wars figures. So anyway, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the new Hot Toys Darth Sidious figure from Revenge of the Sith. If you think about it, this figure is sort of 2-in-1, because you can display him like Chancellor Palpatine, or you can display him full-on Darth Sidious with the burnt face, because as you know, you get 2 head sculpts with this figure. I can definitely see collectors picking up 2 of these figures when he is eventually released. And by the way, yes, I think he's going to be released in 2026. I kind of thought he would be released early, but no, he will be released in 2026, as far as I know. So here we go. First of all, we got him in these Chancellor Palpatine robes, holding the saber, and yeah, the texture on those hands look very, very awesome, and honestly, the robes look great. I wonder if they're wired. I definitely think they will be. Hopefully they are. And now that head sculpt, as amazing as it is actually reused. I am pretty sure this is the exact same head sculpt we got with the Clone Wars version of Darth Sidious. And honestly, it looks great. Moving eyes, obviously. But honestly, this head sculpt's not for me. I wish it wasn't reused. I kind of wish he had more of a serious expression. A bit like when he was fighting, you know, Mace Windu, or when he was sort of talking to Anakin, trying to convince him to turn to the dark side. This will look good in the pose, maybe of him talking to Anakin as Chancellor Palpatine, or when he's fighting with his lightsaber and maybe he's smiling at a Jedi before he kills them. But I understand why it's reused. Hot Toys probably thought, alright, most people are going to be using the burnt face, so let's just throw this in as a bonus, and I'm very grateful we're getting this head sculpt. But honestly, I don't think many people will be using this in their final poses, myself included. But honestly, yeah, he does look very, very awesome as Palpatine, and I love those red crimson robes. They look absolutely awesome. And it's nice to get his lightsaber as well. But the real star of the show is this head sculpt here. Now, this picture here of him talking to Anakin with the Sith eyes after he's just been cooked by his own lightning. In my opinion, this sculpt is worth the price of this figure alone. As you can see, here's a comparison. Look how much better this sculpt flipping looks. I love the detail. I really hope in the final production this head sculpt doesn't soften. Hopefully it won't. They're quite good with their burnt faces, Hot Toys. Yeah, so I got high hopes. The Sith eyes look awesome as well. Obviously moving eyes. I don't know how the eyes move though. It looks like his neck is a full-on neck. I'm guessing they will hide maybe a magnet compartment at the back of his head. Hopefully they blend that seam line in very well if they are doing that. Unlike what they did with the Christian Bale Batman figure, or sorry, the Christian Bale Bruce Wayne figure we got with the Armory, where the seam line was super obvious and super ugly. Hopefully they do a good job with this figure here. I don't remember what they did with this sculpt for the Clone Wars version. Hold on, let me just look that up. Oh, Hot Toys. What the hell? So yeah, I'm on Justin's video right now. Make sure to go and subscribe to Justin Collection. He is definitely my favourite reviewer out there. But as you can see here, yeah, this is what we're going to have to deal with. It will only be noticeable from the back, so it's not that bad, but still, just like the Christian Bale head sculpt, it looks like it's the same thing. Hopefully with this new Darth Sidious they fix that, but I highly doubt it. And as you can see, like the Clone Wars Darth Sidious, we get those awesome lightning electricity hands, force lightning hands. They look incredible, especially with this head sculpt. This is a really, really awesome pose. Now, this pose is super, super awesome and intimidating. This is a pose I would sort of want to rock in my collection. Now, yes, you do get some outer robes. As you can see, I kind of want to display him without the hood in my collection, but with the robes over the top, so we get that sort of black and crimson sort of look. I kind of hope without the hood on, the body doesn't look too bulky, if you know what I mean, because of all the fabric over the top. Hopefully not. If not, I'll just have to display him without the robes on. Displaying him with the hood on, long term, I think it will have dye transfer. Don't take my word on that. I'm pretty sure like black and brown hoods will eventually give dye transfer to the PVC head sculpts, unfortunately. Like, if you're going to display this figure with the hood and never touch it again, a bit like what I do with collectibles, I pose them, I don't really touch them again, well, go with it, because you'll never notice if it gets dye transfer unless you take off the hood or sell it. But if you want to, you know, change the pose here and there, or you're like me and you really desperately do not want to ruin a head sculpt this good, well, don't do it. And be fair, I feel like most people will be displaying this figure without the hood on, because if you got the hood on, you're hiding all of that awesome, burnt, shriveled up skin, man. And it looks like, just like the Christian Bale Bruce Wayne figure, it kind of looks like he has no teeth. Didn't really mention that in my review on the armory, because I didn't really notice it. I did notice it, but I didn't really, like, clock it straight away. But, yeah, him without teeth, the Christian Bale Batman Bruce Wayne figure looks a bit weird when I look at it here and there. And the same with this one. Hopefully there's some sculpted teeth and it's just the image, but it doesn't look like there's any sculpted teeth. It's not a deal breaker. This head sculpt is still absolutely incredible. So I am a little worried about this hood. So, as you know, Hot Toys have a track record of having absolutely terrible hoods. The Clone Wars Darth Sidious, the hood was amazing. But then when they released that Darth Maul figure, the hood was terrible, and the same with Darth Revan. So I'm really praying that this hood is as good as it looks here. It has a wire in sort of the top part, so you can shape it perfectly. Because as you know, Hot Toys hoods are usually terrible. But I'm really hoping you can get this hood to look as good as this in this picture. I'm really hoping. Like I said, I'm not going to be displaying him with the hood on, but I really want to get some awesome pics for Instagram and some awesome poses I can share off in my review when this figure is eventually released. So I guess let's pray the hood will look awesome, but honestly, these robes look great. I'm guessing the sleeves and stuff and the bits at the bottom will be wired. But as you can see, a side-by-side comparison to display styles. I really feel like crazy Darth Sidious fans or crazy Revenge of the Sith fans will pick up 2 of these figures so they can do exactly what you see here. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, if they get the hood right, I think this figure is definitely going to be one of the best Star Wars figures ever released. They do have another Revenge of the Sith Darth Sidious on pre-order. That was when he, I think, changed his outfit and fought Yoda. I'm personally not the biggest fan of that figure. The sculpt is a little bit too crazy and doesn't look that good, but this sculpt is what I am talking about. Hot Toys, do not mess this figure up, please. Hopefully when Justin does a figure preview on this figure, hopefully he has some information about the hood. Hopefully, you know, Hot Toys aren't just sticking a piece of tape there or a piece of blue tack to hold it in place to make us think it looks good, and then when we get it in hand, it will be a piece of crap. But either way, I'm getting this figure. As you can see also, those fingertips are slightly blue. I love how these lightning pieces look. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was my thoughts on the Hot Toys Darth Sidious figure from Revenge of the Sith. What is absolutely crazy, I probably will mention this again in my review when this figure eventually comes out. Basically, I was thinking, well, if Hot Toys are going to make a Darth Sidious figure, they're going to go all out, right? They're going to give us 2 head sculpts, the clean head sculpt without the scarring, and then the fully scarred head sculpt. Then they're going to give us a removable robe, so you can have them with the hood on. Oh my god, I just hit my mic. You can have them with the robes and hood on, or you can remove the robes completely and have them as Chancellor Palpatine, or have him Chancellor Palpatine, but with the burnt face, but without the robes, so it's like he's just finished frying Mace Windu, or getting fried by Mace Windu, because Mace Windu reflected the lightning back in his face with his purple lightsaber. And I wake up blooming Monday morning, and I am faced with my blooming vision. I'm like, what? So honestly, I'm just very excited about this figure. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this figure and if you're going to be picking it up, because I, hell yes, going to be picking this up when he's out. Part of me hopes he releases early, but I don't think he's going to be, unfortunately. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in another review, figure preview, or short. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram. Link is in the description.